Hello, and welcome to How to Unfriend Our Inner Critic. And for today, we're going to go through video number 6, CBT Thought Chart. And this is a really neat handout. I've used it in the past, and I know for me it's very effective, and it helps me write down a lot of things that sometimes when I get overwhelmed or frustrated, when I put it into this chart, I feel a lot better, and I'm able to be less overwhelmed and less frustrated. This is a chart used to look at a certain example, a certain scenario, and to really think about it. And as you think about it, the idea is to come up with something that is called or alternative thinking. I'm going to go through the chart and I'm going to show you each column and how to do each column. And the idea here is that by the end of this video, you'll know how to do it and that you can be able to do it on your own. And hopefully in the future, when you do feel overwhelmed or frustrated, that you can use this chart as a guide to look at situations different ways and to hopefully feel less overwhelmed and frustrated. And sometimes when we do this, we can identify our own faults in thinking and our own negative patterns of thought. So it helps to identify things that maybe we can't see, or blind spots as we call them, when looking at these situations and how we respond to them. So for the first column, we just want to talk about the event or situation. And so it's very important here that we write exactly what happened. Try to stick to the facts and try to avoid writing your own thoughts or behaviors into it. Just kind of stick to what happened. For example, I walked down the road, and while I was walking, another person walked past me and gave me a dirty look. So that was the event and the situation that happened. And it could be very brief, but you can just write what the situation was. And then from there, the second column is we can look at the initial thoughts. So the initial thoughts are looking at the thoughts that came to mind during the event. And it's also important to remember that there's really no wrong answer here. So these are just thinking of when that situation happened, what were some of the thoughts that came to mind. So for my scenario, when I was walking down the street and somebody walked past me and they gave me a dirty look, I may have thought that the person didn't like me, or the person was having a bad day. Maybe they could tell that I was in a bad mood. So these are me thinking about my own thoughts about what happened, is why did that person give me a dirty look. So it could have been any of those reasons, and none of them are really right or wrong here. So then the next column is very similar. So the third column, we want to talk about any feelings or behaviors that happened in that situation. So these are different than the thoughts, but they are connected in a way. So you're putting down how you felt about the event. How did you respond when it happened? And you try to list everything from your own perspective. So when the person looked at me, gave me a dirty look, I gave them a dirty look back. Like, I was disgusted by it. So disgust would be a feeling, and behavior was I gave them a dirty look back. Another one could be they gave me a dirty look, so I scoffed at them. You can also say that, when the person gave me a dirty look, I gave them back a smile, or I laughed or something. So there's really no wrong answers in these columns, and it gets easier over time. So it's like an exercise. The more that you think about your thoughts and your feelings and behaviors when they happen, you can jot them down. And the last column is looking at the alternative thoughts and behavior. The last column helps you look at what were some of the reasons why the person gave you a dirty look that had nothing to do with you. So after thinking about the situation, you can put other things going on that maybe you didn't notice, or things that you can kind of use your imagination to say, oh, maybe the person didn't have a dirty look that was toward me. Maybe they saw somebody behind me that they didn't like. Or maybe it was a very dusty or windy day and something got in their eye. And so what I thought was a dirty look may have just been something getting in the person's eye. So all of these kind of things you can look at and jot down and say, why did they respond in this way? So those are the 4 columns. And what this chart does is it allows us to see things from different perspectives, and we also learn how to challenge some of our own distorted thinking. And the more we do this exercise, the more we can reduce our own anxiety, and we can increase our self-compassion and our self-esteem skills. And the more we do this, the more that we can help fight against some of the things that the inner critic is saying, which we covered in a previous week, talking about the inner critic and our core beliefs. This is very valuable, and I feel like if this is something that you don't get, continue to watch the video again. You can ask how to do the chart if you're having trouble, and yeah, we have no problem helping you through this, and we think that this is something that can benefit everybody. Thank you very much, and yeah, hopefully you'll be able to do this chart. So bye for now.